where Noble goes. The Nemesis ban.
Right away.
Do we see Nemesis and Hades ban?
Maybe, actually. The way Anister played Hades was very obnoxious because of getting that early mid pressure, allowed them to invade speed buff for free, and it forced Stealth to sit under his own tier 1 tower and absorb some of that experience that he would have missed otherwise. But the composition out of Noble that last game didn't have too much control outside of Khepri. You know, you have the slows from Robin, you have a knock-up and a stun out of Ratatasker, but he has to be really risky diving that backline. And there was just not enough options to really lock down some of these players. Ganesha, though, hasn't been banned, so Noble are thinking about it.
Yeah. Monkey banned the Fafnir over the Ganesh. Thinking about it here is Noble Esports very quickly, and they're going to lock it in. So they do have the support. This character is very strong. One, he can really run team fights. He's very strong when it comes to objective control as well. But that, of course, leaves Bologna open, and she will be taken. Monkey Madness do have one more selection before they toss the pick back over to Noble Esports. What do you think we'll see? It's going to be the Susanoo.
I was going to say Susanoo because with Nemesis banned and Monkey Madness banned Susanoo the last game against Skilladon, so taking that still away from him, Homie Efe is going to be looking for some of these plays.
Ho-Yi one more time for Wowie. We'll see if this continues. Wowie is, oh man, It's interesting because Wowie and MLC seem to be the hard carries for this squad. Skilladon and Aquarius still sort of warming up to the team. And when it comes down to it, last game we saw Ho-Yi and Thoth, two very late game gods. Wowie and MLC need their team to bring the late game to them. Last game it didn't work. So do you want to see an earlier game god from MLC, or do you want to see them stick to their guns?
I want to see early game because he's based off of momentum. If Noble Esports doesn't get the momentum, then they're just going to start slowly falling behind very quickly. We saw Monkey Madness take a 1,000 gold lead to about a 4,000 gold lead at the 7.5 minute mark after that. A very impressive Gold Fury steal by Anister. But already with this composition out of Noble between Hercules and Ganesha, now a little bit more control than the first game.
Cupid banned out, and you know, I don't mind the Thoth ban, but I would have almost, you're forcing Noble into the correct choice, which is earlier game, right? So very interesting. Andy's gonna play his Ra. Hades banned this time around, so Anister's Ra is the first card that he really played at a very, very high level in the mid lane for what it's worth. So I like the Ra choice. Vulcan will be the mid lane that he'll be going head to head against, and it will be Kabazats, the jungle of choice for Skilladon.
I like Vulcan here for stealth because every single time Anister will drop that heal, that's going to be an easy target for those meatballs, for the ultimates as well out of Vulcan. So a nice little counter selection. Doesn't have the greatest clear compared to Raw, at least safe clear, because you have to be a little bit closer to use your backfire as opposed to Anister's having to use his first ability.
Medusa, the hunter of choice for Vedium here. So we've got a different duo lane with Medusa and Khepri. The same idea in the jungle, high control out of the Susanoo, and you're going to give Bologna. This one looks tough, but we do get to see Ganesh. We'll head right into game. Noble Esports on the left. Monkey Madness, they took game number 1. We'll see how it works out.
Starting fresh, Noble needs to think about ways to find an early game advantage here. Aquarius this time in the solo lane. Ganesh, though, on Wabin, rotating between both that mid and the solo lane. Looks like he's going to start off in the solo lane to make sure Aquarius doesn't fall too far behind.
You see him just staying present, and he is spotted out, so he won't be a surprise, so he'll just walk right on into lane. No big deal. Only if he is here with fine okay, so different story. We've got the support and the solo, and the jungle and the solo. Where does that put Skeely? He's right in the middle.
Vedium looking to play a little bit aggressive here. They're looking for their own red buff invades. They recognize that he's left alone in a 1v2. Wowie is going to just sit on by as his red buff gets stripped away, and I wouldn't be surprised if the purple goes very quickly after.
Yeah, there's nothing Wowie can do here in this unfortunate situation. Nice play coming out from Monkey Madness, and Wowie will take a look towards the jungle and see what's going on and just sort of get it. But because of that, he can't even walk up and take the farm from the minions either in lane, otherwise he'll get flanked. So he's got to stay back.
Not only in the dual lane, but also getting invaded on in their solo lane, but that's because it seems that Noble wanted to play very aggressive and strip away the speed and the blue from Monkey Madness. Skilladon gets his own speed. Aquarius getting his own blue.
Oh, he's going to get collapsed on.
A little action.
Skilladon will walk towards his support, but FineOK and Homie FA try to collapse. Now it's a 3-on-2 as MLC starts to make the rotation, but then heads right to the mid-camps instead. I like that choice, prioritizing the farm over the fight.
They were just too far away to really chase that down at this point in the game anyway, so you might as well min-max, try to get to level 5 first, and that could be enough of a power play to look for other invades after that.
And here's one invade that they're going to go for. Noble heading into the left enemy jungle, looking for the red buff. Now the call has been made from the middle laner, so that'll send Vedium and Jigs over to rotate, but 3 players bring it down relatively quickly, and they're able to score that one for the big man.
Camisards does a lot of damage very quickly, especially with that Bomba's mask and the Bluestone Pendant. Some action here, but Monkey Madness walking away with the vision from the Oracles.
Ooh, Homie FA might walk down the wrong hallway. He's going to meet 3 members of Noble, but they seem to have gone the different direction. Skilladon gets grabbed and hit by both players, and now he's going to be dancing around Homie FA trying to do his best to storm and body block, but he can't find it. Dashing away from MLC's damage, but Wubben's here as well. And Andy's going to get hit from mid laner as well. No kills just yet. Skeely here. MLC does have the backfire. Trying to line it up, gets pulled by Homie FA and has to target the jungler instead. Mid lane Andy walks away.
Great mobility coming out of Monkey Madness. Both passes between Susanoo and Raw gives you so much mobility as you're using your cooldowns. Homie FA getting 4%, whereas Raw is getting about 6% or so per ability used. And this is what allowed them to make that aggressive play around the tier 2 out of Noble and still be able to escape before finishing off their boots.
Yeah, so nice little plays coming there. And as you said, the boots will come first. So often we've seen the stacking items. It's kind of nice to just see the return to the booties.
Well, there's different options. You know, you want to be able to be warm while you're in the battleground of the gods.
Oh, just stop right now. Just stop.
You gotta keep your feet warm.
Stop that. You're not allowed to talk anymore. I just don't like it. Why did you go in that direction?
It's the booties, man.
No,
you gotta
man.
keep your little feet warms.
No, boots provide power, attack speed, and movement speed if necessary.
And warmth.
Thank you, Jigs. Jigs' character does the dance as I'm trying to get serious. The animation comes off, reminding me that sometimes I guess you do have to have a little bit of fun and watch what's going down here. It has been total fun for MM. Just a slobber knocker game number 1, able to just take advantage in every way possible. What was that game? 22 minutes before the surrender?
Like
So, a little bit rough for Noble in that regard, but here, hoping for something different for game number 2. They did ban out the Hades, which was... Hades and Nemesis were the problem characters for that. I don't care who was in the solo lane there, totally. I think those 2 characters would have enabled them. Aquarius is in the solo lane for now, but he'll head back to the fountain. And that's first blood. Nice and easy, just routine. Like for Homie FA and FineOK.
The same exact story compared to the first game. Whether or not he's playing the Nemesis or the Susanoo, just ganking Aquarius, allowing FineOK to get that little bit of advantage. I like what his mindset was to try to survive in that 1v2 situation, using his bolt, his excavate for that CC immunity. Unfortunately, he used it a little bit too early, and Homie FA's Typhoon still found the knock-up at the end of that tail gank.
Yeah, I mean, Homie FA is very patient. That's what allows him to survive there. Wubben gets hit by the Sunder, and look at him just get shredded. Andy gets the last hit, but the damage was done by Jigs and Vedium. Big trouble from the duo lane, and it's 2 kills to 0. Noble on the bad side.
Dharmic Pillars was used, also trying to survive a little bit longer. Wubben couldn't find the safety of his teammates to bail him out of that one. It does have a little bit of a short cooldown, so it's only 75 seconds, giving you a lot of protection reduction. Anytime you walk over it, it also slows your opponents. And if you can keep somebody locked into one of those lines by using your dash ability, that's where the true damage out of this god comes from.
I mean, the classic shake and bake, right? Now, there is a limitation. You can only... Ooh, nice jump from FineOK. They're going to dive Aquarius here just a little bit. You'll get that mitigate wounds online and back to base, or just tease it.
I would have liked to see maybe even allow yourself to get pushed under that tier 1 tower, so that way FineOK can get off the guaranteed damage from the Eagles rally instead of using that defensively, because Homie FA was right around that corner. Because Aquarius' ultimate wasn't up. However, neither was Homie FA's.
Man, this is like your dream. Both games have just been solo lane centric.
Not as much as that one game from, what was it? Maniac on the Osiris where he just went off. That was the dream.
But so, well, I mean, no, I present this in two different ways. Because Maniac just took advantage and went crazy. This, game number 1 was off of ganks to the solo lane, etc.
And that's the difference. Homie FA's just been ganking to allow this situation for Final K to be better. Whereas Maniac that game, it was all himself.
Well, Wubbin, it's all him right now. The toss for the mid lane Vulcan not going to be on the money to take down Homie FA. And Skilldon goes to the sky and just holds it. There's nothing for him to do. Nice escape coming out from Andy and his teammates there in the mid lane. Noble still killless.
Jigs using that ultimate, not for the revive necessarily, but just for that extra mobility that it provides, getting his teammates a little bit safely under their own tier 1 mid tower.
Fine, okay here, waiting for the wave. And he'll go ahead and look towards it, get flipped by Aquarius and pushed underneath the tower. Half HP for the Bologna. Health potion has been popped. Finds a little bit of damage thanks to the hammer. But Final K's actually in a bad spot if Aquarius gets aggressive one more time. But Homie FA's here in the jungle.
Still has the Eagles rally available to him. There is no ultimate for Skilladon, so Homie FA could look to be aggressive here. He will, but gonna miss out on the pull. Does find the knockup. The storm count is good. Now he walks away for free.
So much control from that Susano. Just the knockup, the pull, the vortex. It's a lot. Wowie, he's going to take a lot of damage. He'll be able to walk over the wall, drop the Suns, help out. Final K's the one that's getting a kill, though. Wubbin falls on down thanks to the rotation out of the solo lane, and he's not done yet. Jumps right on top of MLC, finds the screen, but the meatball will knock him up and out of position. He then looks around the corner for MLC, realizes it's not going to be an Abbott target. And Aquarius will base under the tower.
Great discipline from Monkey Madness, not diving the half-health Hercules without his ultimate under that tier 1 tower. The purple buff was up for Noble. Monkey Madness stripped that away instead and still continued to farm, outpacing Noble in the experience department.
MM going for the small objective in the little oracles.
Still a very comfortable lead for Monkey Madness compared to the first game, despite not finding any Gold Furies, just being all over the game, all over the lanes rather, for Homie FA, whether he's playing this Nemesis or the Susano, making an impact where it counts.
3,500 gold in 8 minutes, Tolly.
Without a Gold Fury.
Without a Gold Fury. I mean, that's tough.
Almost 7,000 experience.
That's really, well, why don't you paint us a picture? What does 7,000 experience mean?
That's like 2 to 2.5 levels where there's going to be a level 12 first on every side for Monkey Madness to get that second relic. And the primary victim here has been Wubbin and Stealth.
Oh, he's going to toss the ultimate on his feet, do some damage, but Jigs tosses the dot through the wall and winds up taking down MLC Stealth right there in the middle. Nice shots coming out from MM, just pushing their lead even further. Now, yeah, still about 3.5, inching towards 4.
And not only that, they're still just retreating under their own tier 1 tower, respecting the rotation from Skilladon, not giving anything back has been the whole game plan for Monkey Madness. They take their advantages and they cleanly walk away.
Vedia might be number 1. He dashes away, gets hit by some long-range nonsense, and here's help from Wubbin. This could be it, and it will. Skilladon gets the kill. Nice gank out of the jungler, helped out by the hunter and the support.
Vedia just a little bit too aggressive. His beads weren't up for another 25 seconds. Skilladon is going to get pulled back in. Wowie uses his ultimate just to peel a little bit longer.
I like it.
Great play out of the hunter from Noble. Still struggling a little bit, though, in the experience department. Level 9 compared to Vedium's 11.
Wowie went to the school of Ares when it comes to peel. Well, I don't really have any ability to do that besides to jump, so I'm just going to dab at you and make you run the other way.
It also slows you down, making it more difficult to catch up to Skilladon despite having a lot of mobility for the Susano. That's a great counter option here for at least one god out of Noble.
Mid lane seems to be where the party might be next. Jigs is the uninvited guest, but he'll dash away thanks to the damage. And the ultimate over the wall for Hercules, not going to be good enough. Blue buff gets successfully stolen one more time by Final K's Bologna.
Speed buff, though, it is warded by Monkey Madness. They're trying to find it thus far. Skilladon will walk away cleanly with that speed buff, but it seems that Monkey Madness, they're not deterred quite yet. They still want to get something.
Nice. Oh, nice shot, but it's on the support. Jigs loses half a bar, but He's Jigs. The ultimate out of Andy is going to be off the money, not going to be there for the taking, but the single target one will absolutely hit it. Searing Pain. And it's money in the bank, 6-1 as Andy finds his second kill of the contest here. MM lead by a nice spot, about 4,000 gold here, folks, give or take.
Anister has such great mechanics. Despite missing his Searing Pain off of the pull from Homie FA, he was very confident that he would hit it anyway, but regardless, he walked up, used that Celestial Beam. I would have liked to see him wait to use his ultimate whenever the Typhoon comes out of Homie FA, just to guarantee that damage, and that way you can also, during the knockup lasts so long from Susanoo ultimate that you can even reposition Ra for like a split second to get to min-max your ultimate if the opportunity presents itself.
Man, I definitely called that incorrectly. I mixed them up. Searing Pain, Celestial Beam.
Yeah. They sound like they both should be an ultimate,
That's
right?
what I'm saying, yeah.
It just sounds so powerful out of this Sun God.
Yeah, man, and it certainly has been very powerful. Andy sitting number 2 on the net worth. The player damage not so far either.
You know what else is very powerful?
What, totally?
My Ra impression.
Okay, let's hear it.
Ra!
All right, I'm glad we heard it.
There we go. Did you think I was going to laugh?
I thought you were going to talk about booties. Skilldon needs to talk about something that's got to be else. Not talking about the invade.
Nice.
Vedium with a nice cleanup, completely understanding the range of that ultimate, taking down the jungler. Just over-aggressive there from Skilly. 1, 2, and 0 at the time that he made that single-man invade. Not a lot of vision there. You can take a look at the enemy jungle. Not a lot of noble vision on the enemy side of the map. Just not enough information for Skilldon to make that play in my eyes. So because of that, he'll suffer. 1, 3, and 0 for the jungler this time around.
With Skilldon just now reviving a 5-on-4 power play. No soul laner here either.
Vedium.
Aquarius still in the soul lane. Vedium gets the Gold Fury. First one of the game, this time for Monkey Madness at the 13-minute mark.
Yeah, they tried a little bit earlier, but they would turn as the players siphoned in from the mid lane. So MM this time around will pick up their first Gold Fury. And as I said earlier, leading by about 5,000 this time around. So they're making their steps here totally. 5-5 to be precise. And 13.5 is kind of foreboding. You kind of figure out what MM is going to be able to do here. And the answer is whatever they want.
It's all across the board that Monkey Madness has this sort of advantage. Whether or not you're looking at the mid laner Anister playing the Hades or the Ra getting the better end of his former teammate MLC Stealth, or whether or not it's Jigs just playing more offensively against Wub and taking advantage despite the great Ganesh.
And there's the ultimate out of both the support and the mid laner. And Kempri's going to look out for Homie FA, but Final K's looking out for Wubben and bringing him down. That's going to be 8 kills in total for MM. Aquarius is low. Wow, he gets the kill and saves his solo later. Homie FA was all the way in the back and could not secure it. Skilldon dances around Andy's ultimate, but MM still wind up on top. Even though it's a 1-for-1 trade, they're able to snatch away some of the enemy jungle.
Absolutely, but losing Homie FA in the process is a little bit of a downfall here. You only get Wubben in response here. Monkey Madness, slight miscommunication as we saw Anister chase out Skilldon a little bit. They forced out the Camisol's ultimate. He had to go under his own tier 2 tower, and the rest of the action was between that speed buff and back Harpies.
Man, Skilldon is a great jungler, but he suffers when he has to be the guy. And, you know, full credit to Ryan, who I was having this conversation with. And, you know, to be fair, most good analysis comes from bouncing off of 2 different people. But Skilldon does very well. Ooh, Vedium here. Nope, dashing.
Bouncing between 2 walls is the Ricochet. Great play from Wowie. Dharmic Pillars going to slow Vedium a little bit, but going to walk away cleanly. Not even have to using any defensive relic.
Skilldon will perform better when MLC pops off. That's what's going to happen here for this Noble squad. Skilldon just can't be the first option. He needs to be the second option a lot of times for whatever reason. And if MLC or Wowie are having a fantastic game, Skilldon will be able to capitalize off of that and be able to assist the team and bring them to the next level. But when he has to be the focal point, I mean, this Kamazov just hasn't done much of anything in this game, and it winds up being a trouble spot for Noble.
It's just a team effort. The mid-jungle synergy go hand in hand, but Stealth gets shoved on in the
big
background.
Big shot coming out from a Final K, stunning the players, allowing a kill to happen. Nicely done. Wowie will be the second to fall, and MM going to rotate back into the middle lane. Skilldon looking for a cheeky play here as he's trying to fall back. Final K chases Wubbin all the way to the tier 2.
Still finding more aggression under the tier 1. Skilladon trying to jump away, can't do it. Pulled back in between the tier 1 and tier 2. Aquarius gets taken out. Another deicide. This is like the third deicide, maybe fourth one, coming out of Monkey Madness in this set.
And it's interesting because their team fight is great, but a lot of the kills come off of the solo laner chasing players down to the Phoenix, which we laugh about and we make jokes about, but there is something to be said about ensuring the kill happens to open the larger window for bigger opportunities.
Final K starts the action and it ends the action with Aquarius dying. Both the solo laners here make some sort of story here in that last team fight, and with this kind of level lead, it's no surprise that Monkey Madness has just been grouping up, utilizing the sustain coming out of Anister now and the damage reduction from Jigs on this Khepri.
Look at the damage out of Wubbin. 5,200. Not bad at all for a support player.
The Dharmic Pillars does quite a bit of damage, especially if you can catch somebody along that line. Now, it's not necessarily if you go back and forth from it that's going to do a lot of damage. It's about trying to trap somebody right on that line. There's a more control this time around coming out of Noble than the previous game. So making full use out of this Ganesh, but because of how far behind they fell in the solo lane and in the jungle, and the Hunter position leaving Wowie alone in a 1v2, Noble just couldn't really capitalize on the support pick objectively. And going forward, Wowie's going to be aggressed on by Final K's rotation as well. Skilladon is here in 1v2 yet again. Eagles rally, forcing out the Aegis Amulet. This could be another dead Hunter.
Level 17 Bologna just doesn't care about Skilladon whatsoever. I would say it was a 2-on-1, but he didn't look at Skilly once. Skilladon just wasn't in his mind. It was a 1-on-1 with an annoying bat on the side. Final K continuing his reign of terror here, just looking for Wubbin, and he'll walk away safely. And the tier 1 tower defended by the solo laner and turned into a push opportunity. Perhaps not on the tower itself, but at least into the enemy jungle. And that's exactly where Khepri's going. Jigs leading the charge with Final K again alongside.
All 5 ultimates were used by Noble. They don't have too many options here of defending their towers or this Gold Fury in the time being. Jigs still having a Scarab's Blessing. Homie FA with the Typhoon, Vedium with that Petrify. That should be good enough here to secure it.
Final K slays the Gold Fury. MM get credit for it. They're up over 10,000 gold. Aquarius, I've seen that scene. Dead again.
Constantly focused is Aquarius. Monkey Madness has not allowed the solo laner any breathing room. No breathing room as the Eagles rally diving to back.
I gotta give credit where credit's due. Nice pull from Homie FE, the Iron Homie. 17-2. Incredible. I gotta give credit where credit's due, man. Final K has been a pleasure to watch. Fantastic rookie. He's on a team with Anister, Jigs, Vedium, and Homie FA. Sure, the kid is talented. He knows what he's doing. But these guys have absolutely taught him the ropes, the way that they were able to really just, and of course, I'm speaking conjecture, but there's no way you're on a team with those veterans and don't learn from them directly.
And he has his own mindset about builds. We saw Breastplate of Valor and Gladiator Shield out of the Summercon last game. This time around on the Bologna, going for a very attack speed-based centric build between Ninja Tabby here, Witchblade, which gives you 15% attack speed, Shogun's Kusari, which gives you your team and yourself a 25% attack speed aura. Now to complement with that attack speed, going for that Frostbound Hammer, and whenever he dives the backline, specifically on Wowie, since he has that height of Nemean Lion, that Hunter has nowhere to go.
I refer to the solo lane a lot as a Swiss Army knife, and that's not always an accurate description, but this position out of Final K is exactly that. What does the team need? All right, we need some healing reduction. I guess I'll buy a Witchblade. All right, they've got some basic attackers. I guess I'll buy a Nemean Lion. What else do we really need? If they had an Odin, he'd be the one buying the Phantom, right? Like, he's the one that's picking up all of the tools. He's the toolbox, and he knows that that's the job that he has to do. He knows that he's not going to be... what's fun is he's becoming the spotlight guy without trying, and that's when you've got something special.
Monkey Madness, very comfortable lead, positioning themselves around this Fire Giant. Gold Fury down, Portal Demon completed as well. Noble trying to bounce back off of that 14,000 gold deficit.
I want to see Skeely do it. He jumps forward, he gets pulled. I don't think we're going to see Skeely do it. Take it to the sky, looking for it. 1 and 2, the Fire Giant goes the way of MM. Despite Skeelodon's best efforts, Vedium gets kill number 1. Totally, this fight looks abysmal for Noble.
No chance or opportunity here. Fire Giant on all 5 members out of MM. 3 already dead out of Noble. Stealth is going to be shortly to follow. Can't really run away from the mobility out of Susanoo.
Abysmal's not really a word. Abysmal or dismal would be the choice here. But that's kind of where Noble was as well. They couldn't really figure out which direction to go. Do they want to go late game? Do they want to go early game? And nothing really came together here in set number 2, game number 2 of week number 2 of our summer split. 22-2. MM find a slew of DSIs. They find themselves almost 20,000 gold in the lead, 15,000 to be precise. And the Vedium's trying to have a little bit of fun here. 21 minutes on the clock is where MM find their second victory.
They're having a little bit of fun diving that fountain with his Aegis Amulet, and Monkey Man is looking out for number